Hey guys, Aaron Cybertron Zhang here, and today I'm back with another episode of Road to Ranked, where I climb the online VGC 17 ladder and provide live commentary as I go. We're just jumping back into things with the brand new team that I featured in yesterday's episode. Of course, this is a QR rental code team, so if you're interested in this team, go check it out in the description below. I basically chose it because there's a lot of cool Pokemon that I wanted to try out, including the Buzzwole, the Alolan Raichu, and the Aerodactyl. So definitely a really fun team, and yesterday's episode was pretty exciting. If you haven't seen that, definitely check it out. In addition, like I mentioned in yesterday's episode, if you haven't seen the Snorlax team, the Pastebin and the QR code, you can also check that out in the description below. We're going to find our first opponent of the day, Shadow, running a very, very meta-standard team, so this should be a fun one. As always, if you guys enjoy Road to Rank, please share support by leaving a like in the video. I'd really appreciate it. Shadow here is running it's kind of called Fake plus PG, which is like, yeah, Feeny, Arcanine, Cortana, Electric type, and then Porygon Gigalith. So this archetype is really running around everywhere, and it's been dominating tournaments. If you're preparing for VGC events, like this is one of the team compositions you should definitely be preparing for. So let's see how I want to approach this. The question is, like, what do I think my opponent will lead? I can't necessarily play carelessly with Raichu and Koko because you could easily switch in the Togedemaru, and that's a problem. I could go Aerodactyl. Aerodactyl Buzzwole is kind of tempting here, because I can Tailwind, I can Taunt. The one thing Aerodactyl really fears is the Togedemaru. Maybe I'll do that, yeah, sure. Aerodactyl, Togedemaru. I want Celesteela, because if I knock out Arcanine, then Celesteela's in a really prime position to win the game. Garchomp's tempting here, but because it's Scarf Chomp, I'm actually not the biggest fan of it. I might go with Tapu Koko instead. That might be a mistake. I'm gonna go with Garchomp still. This one's kind of tricky, but the Togedemaru scares me enough that I'm bringing Garchomp over. I'm not sure if that's the best call. And I'm still pretty inexperienced with this team, so I'm learning as I go along with it. But we're gonna get into this one, and we'll see how it goes. I think, yeah, if there weren't Togedemaru, like Raichu Koko definitely would be coming out here just because there's so much more pressure with that lead. But I just can't with Togedemaru because you lose so much momentum if Togedemaru switches in, even if it's not out as a lead. So I'm trying out something different, Aerodactyl and Buzzwole. We're going to go against the Tapu Fini and Porygon. Okay, this is actually definitely really nice for me because I can just Sky Drop the Tapu Fini and Z-move the Porygon. Yeah, I like that. I think, if anything, the Porygon here is going to want to switch out into Arcanine. I could definitely see that happening. But if that's the case, then I could switch into Garchomp. So I think I will Sky Drop Tapu Fini and just go for the Pummeling into Porygon. And if Porygon does stay in for some reason, then I just get the knockout. Maybe playing a little bit too aggressive here, but I want to force the Porygon out, basically, because I can deal with whatever's coming in from the back a little bit easier. Okay, so Porygon does switch out. Arcanine? Yeah. So I'm going to Rock Slide it. The Arcanine switch-in is good here for my opponent. If anything, I'd hope Tapu Fini protects. Often Tapu Finis on these teams are choice specs, though. So no Protect comes out. Yep. We'll just take that into the sky. High, 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 up, up, and away. And I will go for the Z move, but unfortunately not going to be doing as much damage. But still chunking the Arcanine is good. So I'm kind of wondering if my opponent did bring Togedemaru here in the end, because, you know, that would obviously be the only fourth option left. If that is the case, then there's not much offense in general. So this should still do around like 50-60%, I would think. Yeah, right around there. A little bit more, actually. It's pretty nice because I don't proc the berry, and a Rock Slide probably knocks that out. So now I gotta wonder... you know, I don't really have the greatest switch-ins because you could Flare Blitz and Moonblast Buzzwole. But Buzzwole protecting is definitely pretty readable. So I think what I'm actually going to do... I want to play really aggressive here with Buzzwole. But I feel like I need to conserve it for the Porygon too. Because if I'm my opponent, I consider doubling into Aerodactyl. No, I think I should play safe. Switching to Garchomp's like so risky. I'll just protect. Even if Aerodactyl gets doubled up into, I can just get a free switch into Garchomp. This is a very readable protect. Like what I wanted to do. Oh, Arcanine protects. Okay. That's a weird play, but I'm okay with that. Maybe fearing Buzzwole's faster? What does Fini go for? Yeah, Muddy Water. Okay, so I could have Poison Jab there. I don't really understand the Protect play there from Arcanine, though, to be honest, but I'll take that. I do get an accuracy drop. That's actually really scary. I don't think E-Speed knocks me out. I'm gonna just Rock Slide here and switch out into Celesteela, because if I connect with Arcanine, then I'll just be able to knock that out safely. I think that's Specs Fini, but I'm not sure. I'm a little bit frustrated because I could have Poison Jab, but I played it safe, and I can't be too mad about playing it safe just because how important Buzzwole is in this matchup. But getting a Poison Jab there would have given me a lot of mileage, and I really hope I connect here. Missing would be really bad, and maybe I should have played the risk versus reward a little bit better there. Okay, so it's not Specs Fini. It actually protects, which is surprising, but I'll take that. And we just see E-Speed. Okay, so I don't even have to worry as much. Nice. Hopefully I connect here, though. I still kind of need to pressure with Taunt. Okay, good. So I hang on with a sliver of HP. -1 Rock Slide still picks up the knockout on Arcanine. So Z move plus Rock Slide, despite being at -1, still knocking out Arcanine, which is quite nice. I do have Celesteela in a good position now, and I know that the Tapu Fini isn't spexed. So I can Leech Seed now. Celesteela, you know, does give Tapu Fini some problems. If Fini is Calm Mind, that could be a problem. We haven't seen Leftovers yet. So it probably has one of the 50% healing berries. As Porygon comes back in, that's okay with me, since I can go for a Taunt onto that slot now. And its attack increases, which is nice as well. So I will Taunt into Porygon here, and just go for a Heavy Slam immediately into Tapu Fini. With Porygon taunted, it means it can't set up Trick Room. I really don't want to get into a Celesteela versus Porygon war, that's kind of my concern, but Heavy Slam might be able to put Fini into Poison Jab KO range from my Garchomp. Oh, but that can happen. Wow, that was a whole range of emotions. Okay, so it went for an Ice Beam anyway. Ooh, targeting Celesteela, actually. Okay. Huh, so that was a ton of stuff. I missed the Taunt, but Muddy Water double misses, and Heavy Slam does a sizable amount there. So I don't really need Aerodactyl at this point. It's kind of done its job. Yeah, maybe I don't even need to be too worried about Trick Room going up. So I'm actually just going to Rock Slide and Heavy Slam, because if I connect with Rock Slide, like Heavy Slam I don't think does enough, but Rock Slide will do that little bit of chip damage where Heavy Slam can finish it off. And if the last one's Kartana, which I'm hoping it is, then Celesteela just walls, you know, the crud out of that. But, yeah, I mean, I got a little bit unlucky with the Taunt miss, but my opponent getting even more unlucky with the double Muddy Water miss. I mean, obviously, statistic-wise, yeah, you don't see that too often. I don't mind with Muddy Water connecting, because it would have given me a free switch-in. But, I mean, if anything, we take those. Fini actually switches out. Okay, Kartana? Togedemaru. So Togedemaru did actually come out in this game. But I will be able to... So I missed the Togedemaru, that's fine. Yeah, so this is actually pretty nice because there's no... First of all, there's no air balloon, so I don't have to worry about that. And his Porygon flinches as well. So definitely getting a little bit lucky right now. I mean, that's what happens when you have the speed advantage, though. Like, but yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna say I'm not getting lucky right now. Aerodactyl more or less has done its job. Yeah, so I'm still like not necessarily in the clear. I think I should just sack Aerodactyl here and protect Celesteela. No. What I want to do actually is taunt Togedemaru. Do I think he'll fake out? Because it could Zing Zap Celesteela, which I'm afraid of. So yeah, I'm going to taunt and protect. Because if it fakes me out, then I know... Let's see. Okay, nice. Oh my gosh. Feels bad, man. Okay. So I missed the taunt, and the reason why taunt would be really good is because then I can bring in Garchomp, and Togedemaru is forced to switch out. Now it can potentially protect, and we can see an Ice Beam go into a Garchomp slot. This game is crazy. So many misses. I'll bring in Buzzwole here for sure. Yeah. Okay. So Feeny is the only thing really threatening Buzzwole. What I could do is Poison Jab, Heavy Slam the Porygon slot. Like, the question here is, do I think something's going to switch out? Because I would imagine one of the two is going to switch into Feeny. Could also Leech Seed, which is kind of tempting. Part of me wants the Poison Jab Togedemaru, expecting it to switch out. I have to call this. I don't have to necessarily call correctly, but calling correctly would be nice. My Leech Seeded Porygon and Poison Jab Togedemaru. Let's see if Togedemaru switches out. Ooh. Oh, I forgot about that. Oh, that's actually awful now. Oh, but he Trick Roomed. Why? That helps me so much, like, because if he didn't Trick Room, then Togedemaru could just Encore me. So that's very confusing. I mean, we take those. We definitely take those. Because now I'm gonna launch the Superpower into Togedemaru. Actually, no. I want to still target down Porygon. And go out into Garchomp, yeah. So, I totally forgot about Encore. That was a really bad misplay on my end. Without Encore, I was like, oh yeah, you can just switch out. To me, that's still interesting just because I could pressure with Superpower, but I overpredicted a lot there. Nice, okay. So Togedemaru is going for the Spiky Shield. I'm more than okay with that. Ice Beam, probably into the Celesteela slot, but I'm okay with that. Actually targeting Buzzwole, maybe going for a Freeze. No Freeze. Nice. Wow, that just cleanly knocks out... Oh, okay, it was a critical hit. This was not the cleanest of games. I was like relatively okay with how I played up until that one turn, where I totally forgot about the Encore. That was a pretty bad oversight on my end. But now I should be able to just cleanly pick up this game now. So Tapu Fini will come in, yep. But that's okay. Yeah, I think my opponent misplayed by setting up Trick Room, though. I don't quite understand the Trick Room play just because you have Togedemaru out on the field and with Encore. But maybe my opponent was expecting me to knock out the Togedemaru and then with Trick Room hope to sweep with Tapu Fini. But if that's the case, then I could have just won with Celesteela anyway. But yeah, that was a really weird turn of events, and I like committed really hard to this one read, where I was like, okay, even if Togedemaru stays in, like, what can it really do? Encore is the answer, and that was my bad. I just forgot about that option. So now let's see. Even if Fini is faster, yeah, I win the 1v1. So I think I'm just gonna Earthquake and Poison Jab here. Because Buzzwole might just be faster outright. And even if not, Earthquake knocks out Togedemaru. And Trick Room's up, so that actually helps me because Celesteela under Trick Room should outspeed both of these two. Okay, so Fini's actually faster. But, and he does target down Buzzwole, okay. So I could have double jabbed into Fini, and I think in retrospect, maybe that would have been a little bit better. But I just wanted to Earthquake because I know it knocks out Togedemaru, and if Togedemaru is gone, then my opponent just doesn't have enough damage for the Celesteela. And Fini does hang on with the sliver of HP there. And it might have the Healing Berry, but even if that's the case, Celesteela, 2 Heavy Slams knocks it out. It does have the berry here, yeah. So I'm going to end up winning this one, but one I did get a little bit lucky. There was like a ton of misses. I mean, on both sides, but like there was the Muddy Water accuracy drop, and then I missed Taunt twice, but then I also flinched and got a double miss on my opponent's end, so it was just like not a clean game overall. And I did misplay that one turn pretty bad by forgetting about the Encore option from Togedemaru, so that's something I should have reconsidered, but now I should be able to just pretty cleanly win the game with 2 Heavy Slams. Yeah. Moonblast from Fini, because it's not boosted by specs or it's not calm-minded, might not even knock me out. I'm going to go for the Heavy Slam because that's 100% accurate. I don't want to risk missing Leech Seed. Either way, Fini right now doesn't have a way to really win this one, even with Calm Mind, just because it doesn't have enough turns to Calm Mind and sweep up, and Celesteela is still sitting at full HP. So that's why I prioritize knocking out the Togedemaru, not going for the Moonblast, which is smart, Muddy Water, going for accuracy drops, but like I said, probably a little bit too late at this point. It does get the drop on Garchomp, though. It'd be so fitting if I missed right now. Let's see. I do miss. Oh, Muddy Water is one of the craziest moves. But, yep, I'm okay with this. Like, that's why I didn't bring either of my electric types, because I felt like my opponent was kind of forced to bring in Togedemaru. And when you bring in Togedemaru, you bring an option that's just not very offensive as a Pokemon. So, Fini is going to protect. Yeah, it's the correct play. Stall out Trick Room, maybe. Keep going for Muddy Water accuracy drops. But yeah, I mean, you should never give up on unless the game's 100% over. And for my opponent, the win condition is there since the accuracy drop did happen on Garchomp. I mean, it's so slim, it's basically negligible. But if there's any chance you ever win a game, like even if it's 0.000001%, you go for it, because why not, right? You should never give up in Pokemon unless you're trying to conserve information and you know the game is 100% lost. So, Earthquake does connect this time around. That will knock out the Feeny. Basically, my opponent needed Earthquake to miss Feeny, like, at least 3 or 4 times, and for Muddy Water to drop Celesteel's accuracy and the Celesteal to miss every Heavy Slam as well. So, the odds of that, obviously, astronomically slim, but... yeah, that was... oh, I forgot, I got the critical hit on Porygon, too, which was pretty fortunate. I wouldn't have mind not getting the crit just because it gave my opponent a free switch in. But not the cleanest of games on my end, and I could have played a little bit better, I think. Definitely a couple of turns where, had a lapse of judgment. I think, for example, the Poison Jabbing the Togedemaru and Heavy Slamming, I was just really sure that it covered, like, the switch-in for both options. And basically, I was really sure that Feeny was coming into one of those slots, and then when Feeny didn't switch out, I was like, oh, that's really bad. So I wanted to look smart, also felt like it was a pretty good play, and it was almost okay until I forgot about Encore. So that was kind of a bad oversight on my end. Otherwise, yeah, just kind of a long, methodical game, and I can't say I'm, like, super happy about how I played. I'm not, like, super upset about how I played either. Obviously, like, like, there was a ton of RNG on both ends, me probably getting a little bit more lucky. If Aerodactyl went down, like, that actually could have worked more in my favor, because it would have given me a free switch into Buzzwole. I also didn't know how fast Buzzwole was relative to my opponent's Feeny, but we actually have an exact mirror match here. I bet my opponent's running the exact same team. Actually, yeah, it's gotta be, given the order here. Oh boy, so this is gonna be a doozy. So I know that there's Scarf Chomp on the team. Man, exact mirror matches in 2017, lol. I could lead like Garchomp. Garchomp Raichu's kind of tempting. Because if my opponent sets up the terrain, then I take advantage of it, and I can fake out. Oh, there's so many mind games here. Celesteela, do I really want it? Probably not. I want, like, Garchomp, Raichu, Koko, Aerodactyl, I think. But I know it's Scarf Chomp. Like, Celesteela's still pretty good if you get rid of the electric types. Garchomp. I really want to go Garchomp Raichu, as weird as that seems. Could also go Aerodactyl. It's kind of tempting as well. You know what? I'll go Garchomp Aerodactyl, Tapu Koko, and Celesteela. Didn't bring a Pokemon with a Z move, though. Alright, so we're in the exact mirror match. I wonder if my opponents watched my videos and, like, found out about the team from that, or whether he just, like, discovered the team himself. Either way, this should be a fun one. Not what I was expecting today. But, yeah, this is, I mean, probably an exact literal mirror match if it's the same QR team. And the team is organized the same way, so I'm assuming it is. But that's okay. That's pretty good. With Koko Raichu coming out for my opponent, it means you have to fake out Garchomp and Dazzling Gleam. So I can just Tailwind here. Tailwind. Yep, I'm gonna switch into my own Koko and Tailwind. If my opponent actually fakes out the Aerodactyl, he's a god. Maybe I should have just played safer and Earthquaked and... But, like, my opponent knows the team, right? So you know it's Scarf Chomp. Either way, if Aerodactyl goes down, it does give me a free switch and back out in a Garchomp, in which I can just go Garchomp and Celesteela and protect Earthquake. Because that's why I led Garchomp, to put on pressure, and I could set up Tailwind. And getting the speed advantage in a mirror match is always very, very big. This is why part of me wanted to lead Raichu Garchomp, though, because if my opponent went with the double electric lead like I anticipated or thought maybe he would have gone for, then I could fake out the Koko. And even if you fake out my Garchomp, I can just Earthquake next turn. So I'm going to bring in my own Koko. Do we actually see a fake out into Aerodactyl? Oh, we actually see just a Thunderbolt. What? Wow, that was a really crazy read. But I really don't mind that. Yeah, okay. Yeah, that's fine. So I'll lose Koko. Actually, I guess that's pretty bad. Because there's probably a Celesteela in the back. So I get Tailwind up now, but my opponent did make a crazy read, going for T-Bolt right into Garchomp, expecting the switch out, so very nice play. I really want to just like start double Rock Sliding here. But I know neither of these Pokemon have Protect, so you know what, I'm just going to Earthquake and Rock Slide, force a double switch out, and even if the double switch out happens, I still have the speed advantage. What a crazy read. Yep, so Raichu switches out. Celesteela? No, Aerodactyl. I'll take that, because I two-shot that, and I know that doesn't have Protect either. Let's see if Coco switches out into Celesteela. Yeah, okay, so my opponent did bring Celesteela. Ooh, yeah, maybe I should have double Rock Slided. I just wanted to cover the Garchomp switch in. Okay, Rock Slide still does a good amount there, so that's good. Switch out into my own Celesteela now. Yep, and just Rock Slide. I should have double Rock Slided because the flinch chances are in my favor that way too. I just got outplayed that first turn. Like, I didn't think my opponent would really risk that, but I guess my opponent knew the team. Obviously. The thing is, I don't think Specs Dazzling Gleam actually even knocks out Chomp, but I was afraid that plus Fake Out maybe could, which is why I went for the switch out. But yeah, you'd imagine if I just Earthquake Tailwind turn 1, that's game over right there. But that's a really risky play on my end, since my opponent knows my team too. Very well played, very well played. And I thought surely, like, if the Thunderbolt were coming out, it would target down the Aerodactyl. Like, I wasn't expecting to lose Coco to a double up. So that was really well done on my opponent's end. Like, that play in itself really just deserves, if my opponent wins this one, like, I'm okay with that, because that was just such a hard read. Aerodactyl actually switches out, okay. Into Coco, I'm fine with that. So a flinch here on Celesteela would be so huge right now. I'm not banking on it, but we'll see. I do get it. That's really fortunate. RNG is definitely being a little bit in my favor today. Yeah, okay. Wait, so does Celesteela outspeed Coco? I don't think it does. Or is it literally one stat? Why is it Eevee that way? Oh, actually, no. It should. Yeah. I thought it was Timid Coco, but I'm pretty sure I can just Heavy Slam here. With Tailwind up. And switch back out into Garchomp, yeah. I'm not happy about this, though, because... I felt like I could still put myself into a winnable position, even if I lost Aerodactyl here. Because then I could just lock myself in a Rock Slide, and I'm faster. Yeah, but obviously I'd be facing a 2-4 deficit. Okay, yeah, Steel protects, that's fine. Unless this Coco outspeeds, but we have the same Coco, so I know the speed stat. Okay, yeah, and Heavy Slam, I'm pretty sure it should just knock out this type of Coco. Yeah, nice. So obviously I'm not worried about Celesteela as an offensive user right now. As a special defense boost, that's actually, you know, greatly helpful against the Raichu. Even if Raichu comes in now, like, Electric Terrain is going to expire soon, which is good. Although Tailwind does expire, so you could bring in Raichu right now. If you bring in Aerodactyl, I can just Rock Slide. So, okay, Aerodactyl comes in. Yeah, that's fine. I actually don't want to risk missing, so I'm going to Dragon Claw. And I'll Leech Seed Celesteela here. Actually, let's think. How many turns? Electric Terrain? 1. Yeah, I feel bad just because my opponent made such a good play turn 1, and I could have, like, won the game instantly there, but I didn't play aggressive enough, and I tried to play it safe, but I got punished. I don't think the flinch, like, was 100% needed, but it made the game significantly easier for me, so I do feel a little bit bad about that, but, I mean, that's one of the reasons why Aerodactyl is such a good Pokemon, and Rock Slide is pretty much the most broken move in VGC. But I could have played a lot better, I think, in both games today, like, just 1 or 2 key turns. I'm running out of time here. Yeah, I'll go for the Leech Seed. And Dragon Claw, Aerodactyl. I don't want to miss. And I know Aerodactyl doesn't have Protect because it's the same team. So interesting decision because we ended up not bringing the 4. Like, we had 3 of the same 4, but my opponent brought Raichu and I led differently. And I'm just getting all the breaks today. Like, I don't think... Well, one, you know, that Leech Seed missing definitely doesn't make a difference, but... like the RNG in both games today, it wasn't like, oh, I needed 100% to win the game, but it was also like, oh, if I do get it, I'm in a really good position, and both times it helped. But I'm not too happy about both games because I could have put myself in better positions where like I didn't need to rely, or even like I could have just been further ahead than my opponent, and I put myself in positions where we were like relatively neutral, or even I was a little bit behind from my opponent. So that's not something I'm too happy about. So Raichu comes in. That's okay. I know it's got the Z move, and I know it has Encore as well. Maybe I should have Flamethrowered because of that then. But 2 Dragon Claw should knock it out, the Raichu out. Yeah, so actually I'm just going to switch out into Aerodactyl, because I'm faster now, and just Dragon Claw Raichu. Because I know Raichu can't really touch Garchomp. If you Z move me, sure you knock out my Aerodactyl, but I also know Raichu doesn't have Protect, so 2 Dragon Claws knocks that out. And, actually, in retrospect, yeah, I mean, like, I Celesteela in a 2v1. It would actually heal more. Maybe, I didn't think about that too well. Fake out. Okay. Did he Heavy Slam the Celesteela? No, okay. I would have been like, you madman. Yeah, okay. So, what I was thinking was like, yeah, you know, you maybe Z move, knock me out or something. And I actually heal back from Leech Seed, which is kind of funny. But I was like, yeah, I can 2v1 since the Celesteela on my opponent's end has already taken more damage. But we literally would speed tie, so that wasn't the greatest play on my end either. Yeah, I'll just Rock Slide Dragon Claw here. Actually, no, I don't want to give Celesteela the Beast Boost, right? Because you could... Oh, I haven't even won this yet. I thought I was in a position where I was like, oh, I've got this locked up, but I'm not necessarily there. I'm going to taunt the Celesteela, yeah, and Dragon Claw Raichu. I'm pretty sure I'd survive a Heavy Slam. Wow. Forgot how frail Raichu is. Okay, so that should win me the game then. Yeah, I thought Dragon Claw maybe could knock out, but I wasn't sure. Maybe that was a damage roll. Heavy Slam does come out. It does target on the Garchomp. Yeah, okay, so I did survive. So that's why I wasn't too worried, like, even if... I mean, this is where, like, my point of missing Leech Seed earlier did help me out a little bit as well. So, yeah, sorry, guys. Like, I mean, like, once again, Pokemon's a game with RNG, so obviously that's part of the game, but... Part of the reason, well, part of the marks of a good VGC player is being able to put yourself in, like, really good positions all the time. And I think I could have put myself in better positions, and my opponents just played really well today. Like, especially that turn 1 play from my opponent today. Like, that was just outstanding play. But, yeah, now I can just Rock Slide. I guess I'll switch out Miss Celesteela so I can lock myself into Rock Slide. But I'm not too happy about this win, because... Yeah, my opponent did miss the Leech Seed, and I got a flinch, and both of those did help me out significantly. And, like, he deserves credit, because he played that turn 1 just so magnificently, thunderbolting a Garchomp slot, fully expecting the switch out. So, very well played to both my opponents. I think, like, both of these games easily could have gone the other way today, and if there's anything, like, there's a lot to look back on what I could have done better. Like, maybe I should have just risked... Basically, when I switched into Koko, I didn't assess the risk versus reward, and I didn't consider, oh, like, Celesteela can just knock me... Oh, like, I don't have a great answer to Celesteela in the back. So instead, what I could have done was just Earthquake and Tailwind, because it's like, even if you fake out Dazzling Gleam, I get the Tailwind, and then I bring in my own Tapu Koko and Dazzling Gleam Rock Slide, which probably picks up the double knockout, and covers any switch-ins, even the Celesteela, and I still have Koko. So... I could have played turn 1 a little bit better. Like, I fully expected the fake out Gleam play, and like instead my opponent made a really, really good play, and the risk versus reward wasn't worth it there. In game 1, yeah, I kind of talked about that already, but yeah, really close games today. In both games, I got a little bit lucky, so could have made some better plays here and there, as I've been saying, but really fun games to my opponents, and hopefully you guys enjoy this one. Anyway, that's going to be it for this one, guys. As always, leave a like if you did enjoy it, and I'll catch you guys next time. Alright, peace.